Hi everyone, and welcome to our next review, which is review 3 from the Workbook, A Course in Miracles. Now, if you've got the book, please feel free to read along with me. If not, I've posted a link under this video, so all the information's there for you to catch up and really absorb what today's review is all about and how to proceed with it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to read through today's introduction and just try and establish an understanding of what is required with the 2 lessons that we're going to be looking at each day. Okay, so let's get reading today's introduction to review 3. Our next review begins today. We will review 2 recent lessons every day for 10 successive days of practicing. We will observe a special format for these practice periods that you are urged to follow just as closely as you can. We understand, of course, that it may be impossible for you to undertake what is suggested here as optimal each day and every hour of the day. Learning will not be hampered when you miss a practice period because it is impossible at the appointed time. Nor is it necessary that you make excessive efforts to be sure that you catch up in terms of numbers. Rituals are not our aim and would defeat our goal. But learning will be hampered when you skip a practice period because you are unwilling to devote the time to it that you are asked to give. Do not deceive yourself in this. Unwillingness can be most carefully concealed behind a cloak of situations you cannot control. Learn to distinguish situations that are poorly suited to your practicing from those that you establish to uphold a camouflage for your unwillingness. So there it's kind of saying that some times in the day it just might be impossible, you won't have the time to do them. But in other times you might just be avoiding it and thinking, like we do, we procrastinate, we kind of can do everything but what we should be doing. And what we need to do in those situations is acknowledge that's what we're doing, and as soon as we are aware, we're trying to follow the ego mind, which is the mind we are used to following. It is the way we see the world, it's the way our lives have, adapted from when we were little. The structure started coming in and it's developed and it's put a huge, wrap around our mind of how we're meant to be in the day. It's become very ritualistic in how we live our lives. So this is saying, let in the new way of thinking. This is why we're doing the course, right? We've got to put our faith and trust in what it's trying to help us to do. It's trying to get us to change those rituals, to change the way we see the world so that we can be at peace and love. Because we know all of the years that we've been living our lives, we've been seeing it in duality, in separation, in suffering. So it's going to take time for our minds to absorb the truth. The mind is so used to seeing illusions, it can't see the truth right now. And so our devotion to the practices is giving our mind the chance to, reveal the truth, to take that truth in and flourish. Because at the minute it's not flourishing because it's kind of stuck and it's thinking alone, it's trying to figure out the world because the ego is in control and it is just causing havoc out there. As we know, we can see it on a grand scale as well as in our own individual lives. So if we can, do our best to devote the time and try and catch up on those times where we've really just avoided. But if you've been busy, don't worry about it. It's saying don't make it a ritual because that's not what this course is wanting us to do. That's how we've been living. It doesn't want you to create a sort of making it hard, because how can the hardness is not a peaceful place to be, is it? So those practice periods that you have lost because you did not want to do them for whatever reason should be done as soon as you have changed your mind about your goal. You are unwilling to cooperate in practicing salvation only if it interferes with goals you hold more dear. When you withdraw the value given them, allow your practice periods to be replacements for your litanies to them. They gave you nothing, but your practicing can offer everything to you, and so accept their offering and be at peace. Yes, know that when we do these practices, we do feel so much better. And so when we can really bring that our awareness, when we're trying to avoid, just think, if I do this, I'm going to feel so much better. And you will, you really will. The format you should use for these reviews is this. Devote 5 minutes twice a day or longer if you would prefer it to consider the thoughts that are assigned. Read over the ideas and comments that are written down for each day's exercise, and then begin to think about them while letting your mind relate them to your needs, your seeming problems, and all your concerns. So we've got 2 practice periods with the review of 5 minutes each time. So in the 5 minutes, we're asked to read over the 2 lessons that we're going to be given here and the comments that go under. And what we're doing is we're kind of putting those 2 lessons into our minds and allowing the mind then to do its magic and, use the wisdom to transform whatever is going on with you right now, what problems, allow these beautiful lessons to come in and shift that for you, whatever that grievance, that suffering, whatever it is that's causing you to feel separation. And just let that flourish in your mind. Think of it like a glass of water, your mind. And the water's muddy. But what you're going to do is drop 2 sterile tablets that are going to clean it all up. And that's what we're doing with these lessons. We're dropping 2 in, and then when the water's clear, the mind can see. It can suddenly see the truth, and it can just wash away all of those problems that are going on in your day. So that's what we're doing with these wonderful practices. Place the ideas within your mind and let it use them as it chooses. Give it faith that it will use them wisely, being helped in its decisions by the one who gave the thoughts to you. What can you trust but what is in your mind? Have faith in these reviews. The means the Holy Spirit uses will not fail. The wisdom of your mind will come to your assistance. Give direction at the onset. Then lean back in quiet faith and let the mind employ the thoughts you gave as they were given you for it to use. So put those lessons in your mind, stand back and allow the power of your own mind to transform them. You have been given them in perfect trust, in perfect confidence that you would use them well, in perfect faith that you would see their messages and use them for yourself. Offer them to your mind in that same trust and confidence and faith. It will not fail. It is the Holy Spirit's chosen means for your salvation. Since it has His trust, His means must surely merit yours as well. So what your mind will do with those lessons is it will just give you that thought. Oh, I can see it this way. I can see whatever I'm dealing with in this way. I can see it. It's not going to be suffering anymore. Like say you're having an issue with your boss, say. So all of a sudden you use one of these lessons and it changes it. Or you're having an issue with somebody in your family. Put the lesson in your mind and watch it transform. A new thought will arise. Oh, and you don't know what that is. You can't put the control on there. You just lean back and allow your mind to stir in the message with the mud. Stir it in until it cleans up the situation. We emphasize the benefits to you if you devote the first 5 minutes of the day to your reviews, and also give the last 5 minutes of your waking day to them. If this cannot be done, at least try to divide them so you undertake one in the morning and the other in the hour just before you go to sleep. Okay, so our long practice periods can be 5 minutes or more, and we have one in the morning, it's saying, to take in these 2 lessons and allow them to mix in with whatever thoughts are coming into our day or night. And then we do the next 5 or longer minutes just before we go to bed in that last hour. And then, you're putting in some beautiful thoughts into your mind just before you go to sleep. And that's powerful, because the mind, you're going into your subconscious mind when you go to sleep. So putting these wonderful lessons into that mind of yours just before sleep is really powerful. And then you're leaning back and allowing those thoughts just to unfold in the amazing ways. So you'll have just a peaceful night's sleep in doing this. The exercises to be done throughout the day are equally important, and perhaps of even greater value. You have been inclined to practice only at appointed times and then go on your way to other things without applying what you learned to them. As a result, you have gained little reinforcement and have not given your learning a fair chance to prove how great are its potential gifts to you. Here is another chance to use it well. In these reviews, we stress the need to let your learning not lie idly by between your longer practice periods. Attempt to give your daily 2 ideas a brief but serious review each hour. Use one on the hour and the other one a half an hour later. You need not give more than just a moment to each one. Repeat it and allow your mind to rest a little time in silence and in peace. Then turn to other things, but try to keep the thought with you and let it serve to help you keep your peace throughout the day as well. Okay, so on top of the 2 practice periods throughout the day, we're asked just to remind our mind quickly on the hour with the first lesson and then half an hour in with the second lesson. And as we take it in powerfully and we use it to transform whatever's going on in that moment. You probably will have some kind of thought that you can transform. So it's keeping these 2, it's like they're on a kind of roll going round, and they're here to bring peace. So there's like a little roller going round, so it's here to constantly keep the water clean. Because we're going to muddy it up each time we take off and go off in our day and do whatever it is we're doing and having all those thoughts and separation, and off we go in our conditioned way of living. Then we come back on the hour, dong, straight in with the first lesson in the mind. Okay, transform that, wonderful. Half an hour later, dong, bring in the second lesson, and then just use that to transform whatever's going on in that moment as well. So that is the wonderful gift of the quick reviews. Right, so if you are shaken, think of it again. These practice periods are planned to help you form the habit of applying what you learn each day to everything you do. Do not repeat the thought and lay it down. Its usefulness is limitless to you, and it is meant to serve you in all ways, all times and places, and whenever you need help of any kind. Try then to take it with you in the business of the day and make it wholly worthy of God's daughter, acceptable to God and to yourself. Each day's review assignments will conclude with a restatement of the thought to use each hour and the one to be applied on each half hour as well. Forget them not. This second chance with each of these ideas will bring such large advances that we come from these reviews with learning gains so great we will continue on more solid ground with firmer footsteps and with stronger faith. Do not forget how little you have learned. Do not forget how much you can learn now. Do not forget your Father's need of you as you review these thoughts he gave to you. So it's really urging us now, don't forget to practice. Really bring this forward. Your Father is there. God is there waiting for you always. And he's urging you to come home. And these are the lessons we are urged to do today. Lesson 111. For the morning and evening review. The first one is lesson 91. Miracles are seen in light. I cannot see in darkness. Let the light of holiness and truth light up my mind, and let me see the innocence within. Miracles are seen in light. That's our first one. Miracles. Peace and calmness. When it's light, that's when you feel the miracle. And you can't see in the dark, like in the muddy water, you can't see. Let the light of holiness and truth light up your mind, light up my mind, and let me see the innocence within. That innocent light burning bright inside. Let it in. Use this lesson to transform whatever is going on in the day. This is the first one that's going to transform that thinking. The second one, which is lesson 92. Miracles are seen in light, and light and strength are one. I see through strength, the gift of God to me. My weakness is the dark his gift dispels by giving me his strength to take its place. So now we're adding the light, and we're understanding that the light is the strength. The light is the strength that is going to come and transform the day, the mind, the life. It's going to transform it all. So miracles are seen in light, and light and strength are one. That's the one for the half hour in the day, which again will add an extra, oomph to whatever is going on in that moment for you to change it. So on the hour, miracles are seen in light, and on the half hour, miracles are seen in light, and light and strength are one. Use these wonderful lessons today to bring you that light and strength that you need to get you to that place of freedom. Freedom from the ego, no longer separate, at one with your Creator, at one with the world. That's what we're aiming to do today. So really put your faith in the course today and throughout these next practice periods, these review periods, and allow, your heart to become so full with the light of God, of love, of whatever you want to call it, but that feeling of just groundedness, of knowingness, of certainty, of happiness. It's all there for you. Know it to be true, and then just witness it coming forward and unfolding in your life. Okay, have a wonderful day, everyone, and I'll see you soon. Take care.